Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. The topic for today is how to lose the belly fat. Few of my subscribers as well as the viewers has asked about how can we lose the belly fat, and this is something a passionate topic which I talk in my clinic every day, and especially men and also women more towards the perimenopause and menopause. I see them a lot, especially they notice the belly fat, and also I see that their cholesterol levels slowly start to rise up when they start noticing the belly fat. And it's very important because if you can get rid of the belly fat, you can get rid or you can reverse those chronic diseases such as diabetes, high blood pressure, cholesterol, as well as heart diseases. So it's a very important topic. I would love to discuss with all of you. Make sure to subscribe to my channel and let's get into the video. So what is this belly fat or the visceral fat? So the subcutaneous fat is another one. That is when you pinch the skin, you feel little chubbiness or the skin or the fat attached to it, and that's the subcutaneous fat. That's not the dangerous one we are talking about. Now we are going to talk about the belly fat. This is the fat which gets deposited in the multiple organs such as the liver, your pancreas, intestines, as well as the blood vessels of the heart. If you are interested in knowing about the fatty liver and how can you reverse the fatty liver with the diet as well as your exercises and lifestyle changes, make sure to view all of my shorts which has got a 30-day fatty liver disease reversal challenge. That will be very helpful for you. So let's understand the science behind it. So our pancreas secretes the insulin. So whenever you take a meal, there is a spike of this glucose so that the pancreas secretes the insulin, and that takes care of this excess amount of the glucose in the body. But if there is excess amount of spikes of glucose or excess amount of a fatty meal, our body is not able to process all of it. So the excess amount of fat get deposited as fatty liver or fat around the pancreas, causing this insulin resistance, and also fat in the intestines, and also it causes the fat that get deposited in the blood vessels of the heart, that is causing our heart diseases, heart attack, and all of those chronic diseases comes because of that. So when you have this excess amount of fat deposited in the different organs of the body, that you feel irritable, you feel tired, even though you have done all the right things, you feel that you're always tired, and also you also crave for more food and crave for sugars as well as unhealthy diet. And also the most important thing is you don't feel like you are getting much energy even though you tend to burn those calories. So I hear a lot about like, doctor, I have been doing all the right things, I've been trying to eat the healthy food last few days or few months, but my body is not able to burn those extra calories, and that's because of the insulin resistance or the fat deposition around your visceral organs. So let's look into what are all the steps that you can do in order to lower this belly fat or the visceral fat, so that you will be able to get more amount of energy, and also you will feel that you'll have a good amount of mental clarity. So I'm going to give you a few tips of how to avoid this belly fat or how to burn this belly fat, and also hang on to the end of the video because I'm going to discuss about some of the tips for women in order to burn this belly fat. So the first primary focus is always your diet. So make sure to avoid all of the processed food that we talked about, the processed, ultra processed, the sugars, cookies, or especially if something is a high calorie meat, fried food, red meat. And also you have to avoid those late night snacks or the late night meals. Make sure that you take a high protein diet, high fiber diet, low in the processed. Avoid those fruit juices as well as the concentrated juices and sodas, and make sure that you take a healthy meal throughout the day, and that is always the first as well as the beginner step in order to prevent the belly fat or in order to burn the belly fat. So the most important part in burning this belly fat is the fasting. So there are different types of fasting available. That is intermittent fasting, there is 12-hour, there is 16-hour fasting. Some of them they also do 24-hour, 36 or 48 hours. If you are doing fasting for longer hours other than the intermittent fasting, make sure to talk with your provider to find out if this is the right choice of fasting for you. If you are interested in the intermittent fasting, make sure to watch my video about the fasting. So why is this important? So when you fast, our body, there is a stabilization of the insulin, because remember we talked about the insulin resistance, because when you eat the food there is a glucose spikes, and then the insulin goes high up, and it causes eventually insulin resistance. So we want to make sure that the insulin levels are low, and that has to be kind of like consistently low towards that. Let's choose the fasting method. So either you could choose the 12 hours of fasting or 16 hours of fasting. Our ancestors, and in many years, and a lot of the spiritual pathways, there is a lot of people for spiritual reasons also, they have been doing fasting, and many of our ancestors has been doing fasting. So the fasting is something which has already been there. It is not something new. The reason for the fasting is when you fast, so metabolic switch happens. So instead of fat being stored or the glucose being stored in our body, we go into the mode of burning those excess amount of the fat. We call it as a keto cycle that gets activated for that. For example, either you can drink water during the whole day when you are fasting for 12 hours or as well as the 16 hours. So once you are fasting, you are metabolically you are activating all of those visceral organ fats. They start to slowly burn up. So once you burn those extra amount of the fat, you feel a lot amount of mental clarity. You'll be able to feel better, you're able to think better, and also your energy levels improves a lot. So stay doing consistently with the fasting, and you'll be able to see a lot of good benefits. Someone, if you are pregnant, or someone who has got an eating disorder, or if you are a diabetic and who have been on the medications, you have to, for pregnant as well as breastfeeding moms as well as other one who's eating disorders, I would not recommend fasting for you. But if you are a diabetic person and if you're also on medications for lowering your blood glucose levels, I would advise you to talk with your provider to find out what's the right amount of and what's the right window for the fasting. So especially when you are in the eating window, which could be either 6 hours or 8 hours, make sure you take a healthy diet which is more of the protein based, and avoid all of those processed food, ultra processed food, high calorie, fatty meal, fried foods. Avoid that sugary drinks, and make sure that you take those sprouted greens, legumes, lentils, low protein, high protein, but it has to be lean protein diet, and lots of fresh fruits, vegetables, nuts and seeds, and especially omega-6 fatty acids such as the flaxseed, chia seeds. These are something that you can take during the 6 hour or the 8 hour window period. So overall your health improves as soon as you start doing the fasting. So the next most important topic which I am passionate is about how to lose belly fat, especially in women. We do have the hormones in place, and especially it's very difficult for someone to lose the weight and they are going through hormonal changes such as the perimenopause or menopause. So I want to share with you, I love this book which is Fast Like a Girl by Dr. Menopause, and I've read this book page to page. It's a very good amount of information that is given, like how to fast, especially for women, so that they'll be able to lose all the belly fat. And also I read a lot amount of research articles as well as the paperwork regarding that. So this is one of my passionate topic. So coming on to the women, especially if they are younger age, 20 to 30 years of age, so if you are on a 4-week cycle, so the first 2 weeks your estrogen levels are high. So in that time you have to take low carbohydrate meal. Make sure to focus on your protein as well as your fiber, as well as continue your exercises as well as your fluids. So the third and the fourth week, which is the second half of the cycle, your progesterone level will slowly start to creep up. And before your menstrual periods, you will be feeling more like a craving for each sugar or carbohydrate rich diet. And that's the time you can take low carbohydrate diet, but you can also take splashes of high carbohydrate. You get those cravings, and that's because of those hormonal changes. And it is okay to still take it, but still stick with your protein as well as your fiber in the diet. So coming on to women who are in menopause and perimenopause, I hear a lot about you. I hear you, I feel you. A lot of the women, they tell me, I'm not able to lose weight. I haven't done anything different. I eat the same food. I have the same lifestyle changes. Nothing has been changed for me, but I have been gaining fat, especially in the belly. And I also, when I do a blood test and their cholesterol levels slowly start to creep up when they are going through perimenopause as well as the menopause. So you have to understand that you are not doing anything wrong, but your hormones, especially your estrogen levels, are slowly starting to go down. And especially if you are menopause, your estrogen levels are very deficient, and that's the time you see all of those changes in your body. So now you know, in menopause and perimenopause there is insulin resistance, and that's the reason that there is a fatty deposition in our belly. So first focus on the diet. Protein, in terms of it, you should take 1 gram per kilogram. That is, if you weigh 60 kg, you will take 50 to 60 grams grams of protein. And then for the fiber, you have to take 25 to 28 grams of fiber per day. And make sure to add like omega-3 as well as the omega-6 fatty acids. The most important component is fasting will help you a lot in order to lose the belly fat. So if you want someone who wants to try the intermittent fasting, and if you have not tried it, so usually what I say is like slowly first you can try with the 12 hours of fasting period. For example, if your last meal is at night time 7 p.m. until the next morning, which is 7 a.m. will be the 12 hours of fasting, and slowly increase 1 extra hour, because 12 hours of fasting does not mobilize much of the fat from your organs. So you have to make sure to increase up to 16 hours of fast. So from 12 you can increase 1 more extra hours, 13 hours, and then maybe when you feel comfortable 14 hour, 15, and then 6 hours, 16 hours. So the 16 hours, which will be like maybe around 12 noon, no food. So and then after that you will have the 8 hour of the window period. But if you want to see more results, or if you want to lose more fat, you can slowly decrease the eating window period from 8 hours to 6 hours, but I would not jump into it immediately. You have to make the slow changes. You have to see how your body feels, especially when you are fasting. And fluids. Water is very important. You can take green tea during the time of fasting window. So make sure you focus on your fluids. I usually tell them 6 to 8 or until up to 10 glasses of water, but definitely you can talk to your provider regarding how much of water is much safer for you if you have other medical conditions as well. So that's how it slowly builds up to the level. So if you can make it more consistent, don't lose hope, because some of them, they tell me, oh doctor, I have been doing it for last 4 weeks or 6 weeks of this intermittent fasting and I'm still not able to lose weight. Then definitely you should keep on going it more consistently. First you will see your pan sizes decreases, and then eventually you will be able to see your weight loss. And other most important thing is in perimenopause and menopause, there could be sarcopenia. That means you will also lose your muscle mass. So for that, you have to do your workout as well as exercises. I really encourage every woman at least 150 minutes of exercises per week. Even if you walk, I know women in their midlife are busy with their children and other responsibilities at work and other responsibilities at home. So make sure at least to walk at least every meal, like after lunch or after dinner, like 20 to 30 minutes every day of walking. And if you do it consistently along with your intermittent fasting, which will be very helpful to lose your belly fat. Then the other diets that has been helpful for women is the mind diet, which will help you for the brain fog, and then also this Mediterranean diet. What is this? Is Mediterranean diet is something which is the whole plant-based food mostly, and less of the meat and very low processed food, and adding olive oil, omega-3, omega-6 fatty acids, lots of fresh fruits, vegetables, legumes, and lentils. And this is a healthy Mediterranean diet which you can eat during the eating window. I hope this is helpful for many of you out there, and if you have any comments or questions about this, make sure to put that in it, and also make sure to put a like on it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all in my next video.